Extra.
Konnichiwa and welcome. You're tuned into Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast we dive into the world of anime and manga and all things Japanese otaku culture. I'm Kyle, with me is Kenny, and this is a Kawaii-Fi Extra.
This is a Kawaii-Fi Extra indeed. We need to do more of these.
We do, but it's fun because it's kind of, we like just pick something and go, we want to talk about this. Mm-hmm. And in this case, it's because we were planning to do a Valentine's Day episode, and we had a chat with the Patreon members because we knew most of the team wouldn't be able to make this week's episode, and suggested that we push that, because people get to vote on that, back a couple of episodes and do it for White Day instead. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of, I guess you could say, filling the gap with a beautiful romantic story that is in animated form that may be suitable for a date night, or if you just want to feel warm and cuddly at this time of the year, whether you celebrate the Saint Valentino or not.
Yes, normally when we do these Valentine's celebrations, we talk about naughty things.
Don't say
this time, we're talking about the most taboo subject of all.
Oh, hand-holding.
Holding hands. and not in the sense of hand-holder studio people.
Oh, no. Studio go-hands and hand-holders and handshakers can just go away. We don't need any more of that. We've seen enough.
We could go on about. Let's make a Kawaii-Fi Extra of just talking mad
we should look
stuff about them.
We should do an extra... Well, actually, we should just do an episode looking at Studio go-hands and their work.
Then we have to watch it.
No, we'll just watch the previews. We've already seen most of them. Like,
yes.
We just didn't finish them, but the animation art style doesn't change.
I started a few of their works, but that's all I can really truly say.
WZ, also known as Handshakers 2. So look, what we're actually talking about is Ore Monogatari, which is my love story.
What's your love story like?
It's all right now.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's be good. Now, this is a series that came out in 2015, but it was originally a manga, as many of them are, as it just kind of tends to be the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a fun story. You may have seen it before. It's the guy who's got massive fish lips. He's really tall and gigantic, and yeah,
he is the massive gorilla bro.
Mm-hmm. Now, this I think it started in like 2013. Hang on, I'll just double check. 2011 to 2016. It was 2013 that it won an award.
There's a lot about this romance one, which follows the usual kind of tropes of, your romance story. Mm-hmm. But there's also plenty which is very atypical about it. Yeah. It's very comedic, especially for the fact that your main character isn't, conventionally attractive.
Yeah, no, he's it starts off with them seeing him in like year 7 graduating sort of thing. He's he's just left middle school, going to high school sort of thing. And they're like, you see all the short kids, and then it just pans across and there's this guy who's a massive gorilla. You're like,
he's standing at double their size and twice their width, and it's just like, whoa, what the heck is this guy?
And he has his best friend who is, conventionally attractive and all the girls like.
Suna?
Yeah. Yes. And, they get on well. So you got, there's Takeo, who's our main guy, Takeo Guda. He's a good guy. So just I'll read the synopsis. Let's get that out of the way first. Okay. So, high school student Takeo Guda has an intimidating physique that often scares strangers away. Despite his looks, he is appreciated for his kind and manly nature, making him well liked and respected among those who truly know him.
He's a manly man.
However, he has no luck with romance. Instead, every girl he likes always seems to take interest in his best friend, the quiet and handsome Makoto Tsunekawa,
who you might mistake for being strange and creepy and having the cold, dead eyes of a killer. But make no mistake, the man is a bro.
He's a bro. He's a great guy. Mm-hmm. So one day, Takeo falls in love with the cute and petite Rinko Yamato. After saving her from an unpleasant situation, little does he know, Rinko fell in love with him too. Oblivious, Takeo believes that Yamato is interested in Tsunekawa. So soft-hearted Takeo decides to help bring the two together, even if he has to abandon his love story. That is not what happens after that.
Yes. People might be mistaken in thinking, okay, so this is going to be the joke. This is going to be the gimmick for the whole series, is that they're in love, but he thinks that she's in love with the other guy, and that's going to be the joke. That's just going to be the situational comedy.
Yeah, it's not.
No, that comes to a head pretty quickly.
Within 3 episodes.
Within 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's really quite good. And this is a 24-episode show.
And in fact, I actually noted this when I was watching it. It's like, I was thinking back to the end of Tamako Market and a few other romance animes I saw. Normally, your romance anime kind of comes to its climax and its finish when the couple admit to liking each other or sharing their first kiss.
Yeah.
These guys, like, they get into that and over that
pretty quickly
within the first few episodes.
Yeah.
The rest of it is about, like, what happens in a relationship? What do these people do in a relationship? And I find that, like, so refreshing.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit like Horimiya, where it's the same thing. Like, they get together, and then that's not the focus. It's about their story together.
Yeah, it's about the actual relationship, not the will they, won't they.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And, like, to some extent, I do like being, a massive lover of romance manga and all that. I do appreciate that will they, won't they. But then, some stories just drag it on too long. Like, I mean, there are good ways to drag it on, and then there are bad ways to drag it on. A good way
dare we not speak its name?
I'll speak its name, but I'll say it in German instead. No,
Voldemorten.
I can say it in Japanese.
Can you?
Kenojo wa rental.
No, I was thinking of Domestic Girlfriend as well.
I mean, like, look, Domestic Dumpster Fire, definitely. Yes. The issue I had with Domestic Girlfriend is that they actually got the two characters who should be together, and they were together for 100 chapters, and then they bait and switched for the last 4 chapters. It's just like, you had it. Everyone was really happy, except for the people who are rooting for the girl he shouldn't have ever ended up with. Like,
Sasuke fans.
Anyway, my love story is very much sweet, fluffy, fun. And the thing is it's actually shoujo. It's not shonen. It's not,
Which is, another very unconventional thing about this. It's very much from your main guy's point of view. This heart of gold, dense gorilla man. Mm-hmm. But it's a book aimed at young women by the genre. Do you suppose this is sort of like to say, look, this is how men are. They're a bit dumb, they're a bit dense, but they really do care, they really do have feelings. All you got to do is be nice to them. You'll have a friend for life. Yes, give us cake.
Let him stare at you oddly close for some reason because he's confused.
he likes to look at the face. That is his thing.
I mean, look fair. I like to look at the face.
There are so many ways we could take this.
I know, we're not going to. I like to look at the face of a person I'm talking to. But yeah, look, Gouda, he's just a good dude.
He is a goof, but he's also just the most manly man meat you've ever seen.
And not in a toxic way either, which is really nice. Like, the story starts with him protecting the girl basically from a creep. Mm-hmm. And, it's interesting to see the dynamic of how looks are perceived. How people might interpret you. Like, if a big guy who looks brawny and like he could be in a biker gang brings in a scrawny dude to a police office, they're immediately going to assume that something's going on with the big dude, not the scrawny dude.
Something's going down.
Yeah. So it's interesting, this play on like the traditional looks of that. And I mean, this is the thing, like, you get to meet her friends get to meet him. They're all like, why are you dating a gorilla? Yeah. And then he saves one of them by saving her from a fire by jumping out a window, and they're all just like, I think he's kind of amazing, actually. It's just like,
there is a lot of that with this guy, though. He's because he's just this intimidating force of manliness. Mm-hmm. There are so many situations where he is just throwing himself into a situation because he knows he can help. There's a child that starts drowning in a river. He just leaps in without a second thought. Mm-hmm. There's a cat in a tree. He does the superhero thing and climbs the tree to save the cat. Mm-hmm. And there's just a lot of this with this guy.
Yeah, and
just because he can.
Just because he can. And it's really sweetly done. It's not like, action hero sort of thing. They're sticking to that comedy, relaxed, fun sort of storytelling style, and they're not repeating any of those generic beats, because it is kind of like an odd couple story when it's, I guess, not so much odd when you get older. Like, people of different looks and backgrounds, and they get together and you go, well, how did they end up with them? And it's like, there are reasons for this. It's you don't judge people by how they look on the outside. You want to know who they are inside, because if you're just going out for looks, then you're gonna be Sorely disappointed.
It's a sort of a random side tangent, but I remember being mates with a guy years ago who's always like, "Oh, why do women go for that jerk? I'm a nice guy."
No, the nice guy. Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, because you see, that guy, he can play the guitar and he makes her laugh. There are qualities beyond the physical and opening the door for their lady.
Yeah.
There's qualities to people that you don't see, and you know, and then sometimes people just have terrible relationships.
I mean, like, some people have terrible taste, and you know, they might learn from that. But...
I mean, like, look at you and the romance anime you watch.
I was gonna say, look, don't bring up my love history.
No. Definitely just the romance anime.
Just the romance anime.
You watched through all of Rented Girlfriend and read through all of Rented Girlfriend.
No. I watched all of Domestic Girlfriend, read all of Domestic Girlfriend.
Oh, Domestic Girlfriend. That's the one.
Rent a Girlfriend, I got to the Girlfriend in Paradise arc, and I was like, I'm done. This character's the main character's irredeemable. I gave it as much. I thought that was where the story was going to end. I'm like, oh, look, everything's been lined up. Everything's perfectly done. No, the creator has no intention of ever ending the manga because he's in love with the character he's created.
Which is so creepy.
It's so weird.
I mean, talk about terrible relationships. That man is literally dating a sandwich board. What the hell?
Yeah, cardboard cutout for a girlfriend. He has a wife, too.
He has a wife.
He has a wife, you know.
You want to know what she's called?
Not the same name as the character, I can let you know that.
Wouldn't that be worse?
It would be.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah. But
what the hell are we talking about?
My poor taste in romance. But this is not a poor taste in romance.
Is it wrong to read romance manga in a dungeon?
No, but it may be dangerous. Yeah. Anyway, Ore Monogatari is on Crunchyroll, but this is a story where it's just a lot of fun. So you've got your two main characters, and then you've got the best friend, Sunakawa.
I really want to spoil something about him as well.
Well, I mean, you kind of in the first couple of episodes, you worry that he's kind of like maybe a bit underhanded because of how sort of, I guess, non-emotional he acts. Non-emotional, and he's very, we mentioned that all of the women go for Goda's best friend, who is this attractive, he looks like boy band material, and he shoots them all down. And so you're thinking, okay, what's this guy's deal? Is he creepy? Is he a murderer? We don't know. Okay, I wasn't expecting that tangent, but sure.
And I think it's like episode 2 or 3. You get the secret behind why he shut down all of those girls. And it is just the most brotastic thing you have ever heard. It's the most wholesome, I want to spoil it. Can I spoil it?
All right.
He shoots them all down because they all talk heck about his best mate.
Yeah.
All of them, they say, look at this guy. He's so big and so creepy. And so he hates them.
Yeah.
And so when they confess their love to him, it's just like, why the hell am I going to like you? You talk mad stuff about my best mate. Go. Yeah. Be gone.
Be gone. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. The show focuses on a lot of elements of relationships that aren't necessarily commonly shown in anime. It shows about, the people actually get together and how they stay together, and some of the conflicts they may come across, and that for a romance anime is very unusual. Normally it's everything's great and nothing can go wrong, we've gotten together, everything's going to be great from here, and that's it, the show ends, sort of thing. Or they jump ahead 20 years and they've got a kid and it's really cute, and it's like, that's great and all, but it doesn't tell anyone about, and this is probably more a thing for me that bothers me, is they put people in relationships, but they don't explain what it's actually like to be in a relationship, and people go in there with the wrong ideas.
Yeah, and stuff changes in relationships. Not everything lasts. There's good times and bad.
You go through phases.
Exactly.
I mean, you might all be playing, Power World one week, and then the couple of months later, you might be playing WoW, or I don't know. Phases.
I'm not playing WoW again, no.
I'm not paying for WoW again, no. But anyway, things do change over the course of a relationship, and you see that in the anime as well. Like, they get closer together, they learn to understand each other's boundaries and their feelings and what makes each other feel good and bad, as far as what's important to them in the relationship, how they want to be treated. And it's cute. It is very cute. Like Madhouse, they've just dumped so much glitter on this, basically. Like there is like, you know, your frosted glass, you know, like, oh, everything's wonderful.
Oh yeah, like the soap opera, the Vaseline on the glass to make everything look all dreamy.
Yeah, and that they've used that in the right way, and it jumps between like, you know, this really high quality anime to then like the sort of comedy, very flat, old school anime of, you know, plain background and then pulling a dumb expression and stuff like that.
Your classic tropes.
Yeah, and it works well in that way. But I think it's just nice to see, like, after some of the trash I've watched over the years, it is nice to see like a show where they respect both of the characters equally.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's... You cannot say that for a lot of the harem-y, generic-y romance ones we're getting lately.
Yeah, I'm...
Like, no offense, if you like the trash, you like the trash, but it's not for me.
What's the most recent one? The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, Really, Really Love You.
Yeah, and the art style used for the characters is, shall we say, a similar art style to a studio which creates non-family friendly content. So it's kind of weird watching it. Not that I've watched it, I've just seen the trailer.
I'm still very, very chuffed at myself just on that subject that I picked that would become an anime. Like, I saw that randomly in a thread like ages ago, and I was just going, yeah, someone's going to take this and someone's going to animate it, and then it's going to be one of those, like, this season's questionable, how the hell did this get through animes?
Yeah. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as, like, you know...
Interspecies?
Yeah. Like, I don't think we've seen anything get that close to being not safe for broadcast.
It's just
kind of funny, isn't it? And I mean, it says a lot when, like, you know, they got to 4 episodes in Australia, and that was the point they went, "Nah, no,
you crossed the line."
It's like, mate, you crossed the line in episode 1. Did you even watch it? Like,
I'm passingly intrigued to know what happened on episode 4 to make the censors lose their minds.
I don't know. It was probably...
Let's ask Aaron. He knows.
Aaron will know.
Hey, bud.
So, I mean, there would have been something, because, like, you know, 3-episode rules, so they always jump the shark of some form in episode 3. They do something odd.
It was a shark girl.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, you know, it's nice to see stories like this that still exist, and like stories like As the Moon's So Beautiful and stuff like that. Proper, like, romance ones that don't provide, I guess you could say, unrealistic expectations of how relationships and how interpersonal relationships should be.
Yes, like setting up, like you said, unrealistic expectation for just scenarios that aren't going to happen.
Yeah. Like, and in this case, it's a lot of fun because...
I say that after talking about a guy who risks himself in a burning building and chasing a cat up a tree and stuff like that.
I mean, look, depending on the person and depending how foolhardy they are, they may think that's fine. They might believe they could jump through the building. You know, at the window,
at the wall. Actually, he could.
But yeah, like there's a lot of fun, silly sort of slapstick comedy in this,
and it's just also so wholesome. It's like there's people who judge the main character because that's sort of the crux of the anime. But there's also the fact that, like, there's all his schoolmates who just talk up what an absolute Chad this guy is. They're just like, oh my god, he's so cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of boy love. Like, yeah, there's like
so much bromance in this show. In fact, the bromance goes a bit far sometimes.
Yeah, it does, but it's kind of hilarious.
Sona, I need to practice how to kiss. No.
It's all right. I'll use Glad Wrap. Your first kiss will be safe. No.
I'm determined to do this, Sona.
It's a lot of fun. Like, while it is targeting that shoujo demographic, it's just hilarious the whole way through. Like, I feel like this is comedy that works for, you know, all genders. And, you know, I think that, you know, going into this and looking at it in, like, you know, just going in for a good laugh and then just enjoying the little bit of wholesomeness that comes with it is probably the best way to approach it. Don't expect it to be, you know, the best romance of all time. It's not. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. But this is...
Coupling.
No.
Yes.
I don't know if you've watched Coupling recently, but it's so problematic today.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I watched it. God, it's like 20 years old
20
now,
years
isn't it?
old, yeah. So, things have changed a lot. Yeah.
No, I still maintain it's great.
Anyway.
I'm problematic.
God. But this is, it's a show which, you're going to find watching through it, you're going to be chuckling, you're going to just be like, okay, what's going to happen next? And it's never expected. It's always kind of something a little bit out of left field, or, Goda will just decide that, because he's a little bit odd that, no, this is what I need to do, or,
And the girlfriend Yamato is just, she is adorable.
She is. She's literally the cute puppy must protect sort of character. Like, the way they do, because obviously he's substantially taller than everyone else, they use that high angle shot from his point of view a lot. And it's just that overwhelming, like, oh, I see what they're trying to do. Like,
but not to the point where she's just an object to be pursued.
No,
she has her own complexities and her own insecurities.
Yeah, I mean, she gets angry at him and stuff, and I mean, Gouda, I don't think in any of the episodes I've seen, because I'm up to like episode 19, I don't think he's ever gotten angry at her. It's always been like them trying to find a way to communicate, because especially when you're young, communicating how you feel and the concern you would have about feeling judged by the other person, it's a hard situation to be in, especially if it was your first relationship.
There's a lesson there.
Yeah, exactly.
Be honest and just hope you don't get hit in the face with a brick for it.
Or a frying pan.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know I'm just kind of sitting on the point of how good it is, but it is good. It's good
kind of the point of this show, isn't
it? I mean,
it
is.
We find the stuff we like, and then we're like, hey, everyone, a couple of subscribers, find me in the comments. This is a show you should watch. Yeah. This one really is.
It is. Like, it's very much not in your face, oh, this is a romance. It's definitely more of a comedy than it is a romance. Definitely rom-com, obviously, but the comedy feels like a much bigger element.
That's the thing. We're talking about like what it's not, and I mean, you've probably watched more animes and you can probably think of a few more that are, but like I can't think of the ones that are a bit more in your face like that. I mean, maybe Clanad at a stretch.
Maybe. I mean, Rent a Girlfriend. Like, a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. There's a bunch of contemporary trash fires, but
I mean, there's old trash fires, Nisekoi. Like,
oh yeah.
Yes,
wow, terrible ending.
Yeah, choose the girl that abuses you. That's the smart choice. Like, I understand like the whole.
The writer has a type.
Yeah, the writer wanted a mean girl. So that's the way it went. But I mean, that tends to be the case. Like, a lot of these romance mangas are written by authors who will insert their own ideas of what they think is a good romance, and then they will kind of tweak it towards their audience. And that unfortunately means that the loudest voices do get listened to sometimes.
I mean, okay, but that's going to happen in every piece of fiction. That's going to happen in every piece of non-fiction as well. Yeah. I learned that in documentary making.
I know.
It's just that you might think this is all very objective, but no. There's always an element of the creator's point of view being slipped through. This is, you're learning something, but you're also learning something about the guy that's making this.
You're learning their point of view because of the things that they have chosen to share and the things that they have chosen to focus on. But look, this is kind of neither here nor there, I guess, for my love story.
This is a tangent.
This is a tangential thing.
We like the tangents.
We do. We love. But Tangent Time's great. I should get a shirt which says Tangent Time. That'd be kind of funny. Anyway, my love story, you can watch it on Crunchyroll. It's Madhouse, so the animation is schmick the whole way through.
Very pretty.
It's very smooth. Pretty. It's good fun. Not horrifying like that other one we tried to watch, Happy Go Lucky or whatever it was the other night, where it was like they dropped it to like 5 frames a second or something.
Oh yeah, what was that?
I don't know. It was just weird.
We tried to watch. It was like we were like picking out a movie or something.
Yeah.
And this one had like 4 minutes of opening titles.
4.5 minutes of opening titles where it was just static images for those 4 minutes.
And then it got to something and it was as random still image flashes. I haven't been that just so disheartened by still images since Promised Neverland Season 2.
Was it a still image, though?
It was the ending.
Ah, yes.
The ending was all still images.
Oh, was it slideshowed?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that checks out.
They did that with a comic I was reading as well.
Like in the comic, or?
Yes.
Like a full page. Johnny went on to college, and
somewhat like that. Yes.
Oh.
This is another tangent, but sort of like this was a post-apocalyptic setting where all of like the fairies and fairy tale creatures had taken over, and then they just sort of wrapped all of this stuff that they had just spent the last 2 issues setting up.
They just wrapped it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like
they get cancelled.
They got cancelled. They ran out of money. They just quit. I don't know, but like,
wow.
So they have just started this. They've just introduced a bunch of these new factions, including vampires in zeppelins.
Fair.
And then they just all got wrapped up. With a slideshow at the end, like a couple of pages of just still images showing, okay, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Yeah, that's
like,
not great.
It's still image slideshows are bad.
Yeah.
You're in animation. Animate something.
I know, right? But anyway.
What the hell were we talking about?
Ore Monogatari.
Yes.
So you can watch
show.
It's a great show. You can watch it on Crunchyroll. There is a dub. I haven't listened to the dub version, but
makes you want to bake.
Yeah. The main girl, she bakes so many cakes and stuff.
She feeds him. She feeds
Constantly.
him all of the stuff.
Yeah, and he loves the food, so like, you know, it's a good match.
This man thinks of nothing but cream puffs.
Oh, that'd be a crossover.
That's a reference to
Mashal.
Mashal.
Yeah. Anyway, that is, I think, where we're going to wrap up for this little one. It was, look, it's a great show, and you should definitely check it out. Even if you're not typically in a romance, give it the 3-episode treatment and see if you find it funny.
It's comfy. It's wholesome. It's just...
And as we get older, we do like that comfort.
We are here at Kawaii-Fi Radio love our comfy.
We do.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
So that is where we're going to leave things. Thank you so much for listening. Next time... Is it happening? It might be happening.
Is it happening at last?
We may finally be talking about...
Magical girl that fights a kaiju!
Yes. Cardcaptor Sakura is the plan for the next episode.
Sorry, that is just my hobby horse for this anime, which I'm just going to ride to death.
Yeah, the fact that it is got a kaiju.
Episode.
Anyway, we've been trying to organise this one for a while. We wanted to make sure all of the team could be here for it. It's going to be...
Because it's near and dear to a bunch of our hearts.
Well, pretty much all of us. Like, well, I mean, you didn't grow up with it, but everyone in the team other than you did grow up watching it. So there you go. And that's more to do with where you were during that time, because you were down in the country.
I was in a crater which didn't get signal or anime.
Yamcha? But in all seriousness, we're going to be talking about the wonderful Cardcaptor Sakura and the legacy that it has. Oh, I think this might be it. I think we might be locked in.
Happening.
Yeah,
it's happening.
The episode after that is our White Day episode, which is going to be 18 plus. It will require parental guidance.
We will be talking about the unbridled chemistry between Chi-Chi and Goku in Dragon Ball Evolution.
How many times are you going to say that to me today?
It's fun to say because every time I say it, you just have this faraway look of horror on your face.
Yeah.
Like you're remembering your days in the old war. Let me tell
you. You're never too young to have a Vietnam flashback.
Let me tell you about Dragon Ball Evolution.
No. Anyway, so that's the plan. We will be going to our Patreon members and giving them a list in the next week for them to pick the topic for the episode. We will hear, I'm sure, some very interesting takes, and we'll come back with them and you'll have a laugh. Now, on the note of our Patreon members, if you would like to get access to behind-the-scenes content, episode outtakes, and a whole other podcast called The Pre-Show, Patreon. Links are in the description. We have got a lovely new member on the Patreon as well.
Oh, hello.
Yes. He joined recently. His name is Vishal. And Vishal's in Canada and has a pretty good taste in anime from what I can tell.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, he listens to us. Has been for a few years. So thank you very much for staying tuned, Vishal. It means a lot.
So what you're saying is he has some good taste in anime and questionable taste in podcasts.
Yes. I mean, look, he hasn't got the same... I don't know if he's got the same taste in romance anime as me, and...
Thank gods.
It's probably for the best. Look, someone has to dive in the dumpster every now and then. And it ends up being me.
Do they though?
Well, it's me and Aaron. Aaron checks out every shonen, and some of them are stinkers. And I check out most of the romance. Though, to be fair, I still haven't read or watched Quintessential Quintuplets. So I do need to have a look at that.
Yeah, that kind of is like a staple of the genre. It's
well, that and...
very much a generational defining thing, isn't it?
That, Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, and there's another one as well that I need to check out that I just haven't got around to.
Maybe I should pick a gimmick for like a certain kind of anime trash I should focus on, but what is there left? Isekai?
No, you don't have a gimmick for trash. You have a gimmick for just liking occult stuff.
A cult and fantasy. Yeah. I love my fantasy.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, found a manga recently I need to tell you about. It might be turning into an anime. I have a good feeling for this one.
Ooh, we'll have to talk about that. Now, if you would like to stay abroad of what we are doing, you can head to our social media. So that's Facebook, LinkedIn. No, not LinkedIn. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. We are on YouTube as well, where the video version of the podcast are. Extras won't be full video episodes. They will be a podcast with a static image, but going forward we are trying to make sure that all of our full episodes do have a full video accompanying them, so you can see us all talking in the studio. We did it for the first time for our Anime Awards episode in the last episode gone, and that was good fun. We had a lot of fun with that.
It was long, but those ones are.
They are long, but that was nowhere near as long as some of the previous awards we did.
Yeah, new listeners, don't listen to our old stuff. We're going to revisit a bunch of stuff from our old stuff just so you don't have to ever listen to it. Everyone has a rough start. Look at every webcomic ever.
Yeah, I mean, well, in fairness, we kind of... Because back then I was working in commercial radio, and I was thinking of, like, if we've got a podcast which goes for an hour and you talk about anime, you could probably fit in 4 topics in that time at 15 minutes each. You can't if you want to do it justice. And that's kind of the problem. So that's why we've changed the format, where we just have the what we're watching, talk about the main topic, which will take up most of it, and wrap up with the news. And that way we can cover everything within about an hour 20, depending on how many people you add.
Broad topics, good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, some of our older stuff, there was just too much crammed in there. And also, like, that was, it's 5 years ago now. We're in season 6.
Yeah, times have changed, people change.
Yeah. I've gotten older and grayer and fatter. Yeah.
I've just got fatter. I'm not even sure I got older. Kind of older and hairier.
Yeah. The years they're rolling in. Anyway, we're talking a lot of trash at the end of this. So
what was the subject? You've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio, and until next time, watch some...
We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Well, a week and a half with the Card Captor episode. And then,
yes, that's what we were saying.
Yeah,
yes.
After that. Then you can go ahead now, Kenny. Oh, you're not going to do it?
Watch some anime!
No. So, anyway, you've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, watch some anime!